Not every NFL star is appointment television. In fact, some guys, even the ones at the top of their game, make you want to grab the remote and check what else is on. Whether it's a quarterback who refuses to push the ball downfield, a receiver who spends more time complaining than catching, or a defender who makes you cringe every time he lines up for fear that he'll make a dirty hit on one of your favorite players, there are plenty of big names in this league that fans genuinely dread watching. And we're not talking about bad players here, just ones that are painful to watch for one reason or another. So without further ado, let's break down 10 NFL stars that fans absolutely hate to watch play. Tua Tagovailoa, QB, Miami Dolphins. To say that it's been a rough year in South Beach for Tua and the gang, well, I think that's putting it mildly. Coming into the year, there were rumors that something was off in Miami, but most of the attention fell on head coach Mike McDaniel and Tyreek Hill's relationship. But it's hard not to put the blame squarely on Tua when you look a click deeper, because winning cures all. And as their quote-unquote star quarterback, Tua is the one getting paid, and getting paid the big bucks should be elevating that offense, not being the one that's holding it back. Yes, Tyreek got hurt, but even before that point, it was ugly. And there are no shortage of weapons at his disposal. Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane. The guy is basically the fastest man alive. And a creative offensive mind in Coach McDaniel. On paper, the Dolphins' offense should be must-watch football. In reality, it's been mostly checkdowns and short completions while two of the fastest receivers in football jog back to the huddle, wondering why they bothered running deep. His numbers are down across the board, and it has made the once electric Dolphins offense a really hard watch. Which is why fans hate to watch Tua play. Not only is he a walking medical risk that puts fans on the edge of their comfort zone, but he's holding back what was once an offense that was must-watch. The maddening part is that Tua can actually throw that ball. I mean, hell, we've seen it. But this season, he's just been content to take what the defense gives him underneath. Dinkin' and dunkin', all while the speed on Miami's roster goes to waste. It was just a matter of time until the fans tuning in expecting fireworks and getting a slow burn to nowhere instead tuned out. Jalen Hurts, QB, Philadelphia Eagles. This one's complicated because the Eagles are among the tops in the NFC this year and just won a Super Bowl in explosive fashion over the oft-reviled Kansas City Chiefs. Yet, Jalen Hurts, their star quarterback, has found himself at the center of a ton of criticism from fans, both in and outside of Philly. Now, it isn't for a lack of effort or because the birds are falling off under his watch, but frankly, because Philly's offense is just so dang boring to watch. I mean, I haven't spoken with anyone who watched an Eagles game this season and called it fun. The offense ranks towards the bottom of the ladder in the league in passing yards per game. A.J. Brown is on pace for a career low in receiving. Devontae Smith disappears for stretches. It hurts? Well, he holds the ball, checks down, and lets the defense carry the load. Multiple Eagles offensive players have reportedly grown frustrated with how Hurts has approached his play this season. The criticism includes being tentative with his downfield passing, holding the ball too long, and not throwing into tight windows. His own coaching staff has reportedly felt that he throws off the rhythm. We saw this on full display in Week 12 when the Eagles blew a 21-0 lead against the Cowboys. Hurts had 0 completions for 108 yards in the second half. Meanwhile, the defense tried desperately to hold on. Winning is supposed to solve everything in the NFL. But watching Hurts play right now genuinely makes us want to change the channel. And it's gotten so bad that his own teammates are starting to revolt. Aziz Al-Shaair, LB, Houston Texans. Aziz Al-Shaair, the guy who makes fans wince every time that he lines up across from their team's quarterback. Now, Al-Shaair isn't on this list because he's bad. I mean, truth of the matter is that he's a very good player for Houston. One of the most ferocious defenses in the game today. But a part of the reason that they love him on that unit is at the root of why he's here on this list. Because the man is a dirty kind of player. The guy that is actively trying to injure the opposition. Over the years, the Texans linebacker has built a reputation as one of the most reckless players in the entire league. He served a 3-game suspension for that brutal hit on Trevor Lawrence last December. This year, there's the whole punching Bears running back Roschon Johnson on the sideline thing back in Week 2. And then he was flagged for that gnarly hit on J.K. Dobbins. And the flag for unnecessary roughness on Sam Darnold after driving him to the ground well after the play should have been whistled dead. And then there was, well, look, okay, the list, it just goes on and on. He is a talented enough player to play clean. He just doesn't. And watching him tee off on vulnerable players isn't really that entertaining. It is anxiety-inducing. You're just waiting for someone to get really hurt. And honestly, with Al-Shaair, that's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. A.J. Brown, WR, Philadelphia Eagles. Here's another member of this first-place Philadelphia Eagles team that just seems to drive fans crazy. A.J. Brown has spent more time complaining this season than producing. Don't get it twisted, Brown is one of the best receivers in football when he's locked in. But the constant grievances, the sideline drama, the public jabs at his own offense, it just wears on ya. He has been visibly agitated on the sidelines during the wins. According to reports coming out of Philly, the vibe among Eagles offensive players is noticeably different from the defensive side of the locker room. Not exactly what you want from one of your captains, especially one that always immediately turns around after he says some wild stuff and asks why everyone is focusing on him. It's just laughable, man. When Brown is cooking, he is unstoppable. But the problem is that this season, you're more likely to see the pouty version than the dominant one. And it transcends just his attitude. We've seen him taking plays off on more than one occasion, which is a surefire way to tick off fans. It is a real shame indeed, because at his best, he is one of the most explosive players out there. But God, he is just far too much of a headache to watch. Patrick Mahomes, QB, Kansas City Chiefs. I know. Patrick Mahomes is generational. 3 Super Bowls, best time in football. Yeah. But hear me out. Watching Mahomes in 2025 has become maddening for anyone not wearing red. The flopping, the whining to refs, the way that he taps his helmet after every incompletion like he's owed a flag. He admitted to flopping against the Texans in the playoffs. He's been caught on camera talking refs out of offensive pass interference calls. Look, fans have been hot on the NFL rigged case for years now. But the way that Mahomes is treated and behaves, well, let's just say there's a reason that he's been at the middle of most of these people's investigations. It's frustrating enough watching one guy and one team rattle off wins on the rest of the league for years on end, and the complaints and the perceived favoritism only make it all the worse. For years, Mahomes was changing the game with impossible throws. Now, he's still good, but watching him lobby for flags has become as much a part of the broadcast as the actual football, which doesn't really make for a super enjoyable viewing experience. Travis Kelce, TE, Kansas City Chiefs. Same team, different issue. Very different issue, in fact. Travis Kelce is a future Hall of Famer. That is not up for debate here. But boy oh boy, those sideline tantrums, the helmet slams, the bumping into Andy Reid, it's just become a part of the whole package. We've seen it on full display this season. Kelce has been fined for taunting after making a crude gesture towards opponents, and he continues to get into it with his coaching staff on the sidelines. Honestly, at this point, it's just his whole aura that kind of makes him tough to watch. Kelce is arrogant, loud, and like his teammates, loves to beg for calls. The whole diva act was one thing when he was among the top pass catchers in the league, regardless of position. But it's now 2025, and the cracks are starting to show in a big way, even if Travis doesn't want to admit it yet. Kelce is 36, and that decline is very real. But the attitude hasn't adjusted, and it irks fans watching to no end. The man is a legend, but it is past his time to be the one demanding calls and throwing fits while his production slips. That is the kind of thing that turns casual fans into active haters. Even Chiefs fans have to admit that it's getting kinda hard to watch. Derrick Henry, RB, Baltimore Ravens. King Henry came to Baltimore to win a championship. And though he had a heck of a debut season in 2024, this year, well, it kinda looks like the crown is beginning to slip. 3 fumbles in his first 3 games. The same number that he had all of 2024 on 325 carries. He has no burst, none of the menacing power that he used to run with. He's just a complete snooze to watch now. His yards after contact are among the worst in his rookie year, pointing to the possibility that at 31, the bruising back who used to run through defenders is no longer capable of being the big bad bully on the block. When the rest of the offense is firing on all cylinders, he's still capable of getting hot and ripping off a big game here and there. But the excitement is few and far between now. I mean, how many times can we watch him get stuffed on short yardage situations or put the ball on the ground at critical moments and act like we're still having fun? Hey, thanks for the memories, King Henry. We'll remember all the epic stiff arms fondly. But sadly, it appears that those days are now done. Jordan Love, QB, Green Bay Packers. The Packers paid Jordan Love $220 million to be their franchise quarterback. The results have been inconsistent. Love is the kind of quarterback who will make 3 jaw-dropping throws in a row and then follow it up with an interception that makes you wonder what the heck he was looking at. Too many of his turnovers lack situational logic. 3rd and short, game on the line, and he'll force a ball into triple coverage. The playoff loss to the Eagles was the perfect example of this. 3 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. The Packers offense looked completely stuck. I mean, come on. Packers fans have to know it at this point. Watching him is equal parts frustrating and underwhelming. Every once in a while, he'll get hot and make some very nice plays, but way too often, this is a guy that's best known for taking unnecessary sacks and inexplicably poorly thrown passes. For a QB with that much arm talent, it just makes no sense, and it is so hard to watch. On a team with this much potential, the quarterback position is supposed to be the stabilizing force. Instead, Love is the reason that Packers fans can't relax with the lead. Trevon Diggs, CB, Dallas Cowboys. Remember when Diggs was the best ball hawk in football? God, that feels like a lifetime ago. The former All-Pro quarterback has been burned and completely humbled in the town since. Through 12 weeks in 2025, he has been a complete shell of his former self. And though it's somewhat entertaining to watch one of Jerry Jones's high-priced players falter, truth is, Diggs is becoming a real bummer to watch. It has gotten ugly for Diggs this year. I mean, he got burned for a touchdown by Darren Waller, a tight end who hadn't played since 2023 and even got benched by the Packers. Diggs went from All-Pro to afterthought in the span of 2 years. Watching him get cooked on Sundays isn't infuriating anymore. It is just depressing. Lamar Jackson, QB, Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson is one of the most exciting players in football history. 2 MVPs, insane athleticism, ridiculous highlights, and then, the playoffs come. Lamar is 3-5 in the postseason with 11 turnovers in 8 games. It's become a disturbing pattern. Lamar puts up historic regular season numbers, the Ravens look like Super Bowl favorites, and then something goes wrong in January. A fumble, an ill-timed interception, a game that slips away. The regular season version of Lamar is must-see TV. But if you're a Ravens fan, there is a dread that creeps in every time the calendar flips to the postseason. Is this the year that he finally breaks through, or is it the same story again? And for the rest of us, well, then we have to listen to Baltimore boast that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the game, which is kind of hard to argue, but it just kind of feels meaningless considering that he can't deliver when the stakes are raised. That level of uncertainty makes watching him weirdly stressful instead of fun. You can't just enjoy the brilliance because, well, you know what is coming once the chips are actually down. But hey, which of these NFL stars do you hate watching the most? Who do you think fans treat unfairly? Who do you think we got right here? What do you think we got wrong? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.